to Donnie Jones Live. I am Donnie, the tree lady, hanging out with
your main man, Marty McFly. Yeah.
What it do? Man, it do what it do.
Man, it has been an interesting week and some days and everything.
My God, dude.
Just a little bit of everything. I'm saying, especially, the tragic, the weather report with the, where was that at?
Dorian, the Bahamas.
The Dorian.
Yeah.
The Bahamas, right.
Hurricane. Dude, we supposed to know this stuff before we hit the air.
No, I'm a realist because, I hear things on the radio, but it's not like I kind of take notes.
That's true. That's true.
So it's like I hear.
But Dorian has been all over the news.
Okay. If you don't watch the news, then you kind of miss out. I'm saying, if it's not happening here in my little area, I don't really.
Well, the thing is, they thought that it was going to make a turn and give us some bad weather. Because I even got a call from my tree service, because I am Donnie, the tree lady, and I own Don's Tree Service. But we got a call from one of the counties to be on standby for emergencies.
You know what's wrong about your job?
What's that?
You like it when it's a tornado or something like that. When it's bad weather, you kind of get excited, don't you?
You know what? I got to admit, yes, I do. However, this is what I always say.
Mm-hmm.
I want the trees to fall, but I don't want them to hurt anybody.
Yeah, right. That's the
I don't want it. No, because I don't want people to be hurt. But like if the tree limb fell on their house or if it fell on their car, they're going to be okay. I don't want that to happen. But we're here to serve if it does happen. I don't want to see tragedy happen anywhere.
Call me, right? Just call me.
When your tree falls. No,
I don't think, I don't think tree companies or funeral home companies will ever go out of business.
That is so true.
I'm serious, because you're going to guarantee somebody going to die.
That is true. That is true.
Say, well, I don't want you to be dying. I just want you dead. You know?
That is so true. I'm going so many different places in my head right now. But you know what? I got to tell you, Marty, this is one of the things I love about you because, you guys can't see it, but I'm looking at his eyes and he knows what I've been through over the last week, and, losing somebody that you care about and that you love can be tough. And I got to tell you, your sense of humor, your support, your laughter, your just ability to be there as a friend. I want to tell you thank you.
Man, it's just a part of who I am. I'm saying I like to bring laughter regardless.
You did.
Even if it's, even I went to that boy's mother and told her one of the worst jokes about that.
That is so
but
true.
She laughed and I was like, cool.
Well, for those of you guys that don't know, Elijah Weems had been part of our show and he's part of our family. And he had moved on to do some bigger and better things and had a photo shoot with Nike, was pursuing his personal fitness career, and unfortunately, we lost him a couple of weeks ago, and it was really been tough. But once again, Marty's just been amazing. But he made the energy a little bit lighter at the viewing because he's got a crush on this boy's mama, this young man's mama.
I do, and I'm kind of okay because her husband wasn't there either.
Well, that's true. Her husband wasn't there.
And the cool thing about funerals, you get to hug people a lot longer.
That's true. I think what happened was he said, "I can kiss you now, and it won't be weird."
Right. That did me a nice long little, and her face was moist too because she had been crying. Oh my God. That was a nice little.
Okay, we're going totally in the wrong. I was trying to be.
Saying, but that was good for me.
Right. What I'm saying, you brought humor to the situation.
Yeah, but I'm saying it was so much different stuff going on in that funeral. It was a funny funeral to me. Like they had this this old lady don't go up to the casket and pass out. She gonna do a slow pass out.
I'm getting ready to get kicked off the air for this.
Down, Jesus, and then she just went to sleep.
Oh my God.
And just sat there in a little chair, and everybody just kind of looked at her like, whose old lady is this? Because nobody knew her name. Nobody knew. I'm saying, I remember we called her 911, and they saying, well, what kind of medication is she on? I don't know the lady. I'm serious. And we running back.
I'm trying to figure out how to jump back in here.
It was serious. And it's like, look, I didn't know nobody in the family.
That's true. Let me tell you something, Marty. You didn't know anybody in the family, but people thought you were either A, one of the close relatives, or B, you worked there.
They really thought I worked there.
They did.
I brought my little collared shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I forgot the little white piece in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
So I just
had on all black.
So I had on all black, so they just knew I was a funeral staff member.
Right. But the way you were running around, you looked like you were like taking care of people. You were handing out tissues. You were trying to resuscitate people.
It was that's the way to break the ice with cute people.
Marty.
You see a cute girl crying, you go over there with some tissue. Hey, baby. it's gonna be all right. You need my shoulder to lay on, you know.
Oh my God.
It's gonna be all right.
But here's the thing I do want to say. The funeral was beautiful. And the thing that
some parts of it. I
thing
gotta keep it real.
You do have to keep it real. Look, I'm trying to go for
they
sentimental.
had this little boy trying to play the piano. That the whole church just started praying from like, look, y'all coulda.
Dude, and not only did he do one song, he did two.
He did two songs. Yeah. It's like when you put one finger on one side of the keyboard and another finger on the other
chopsticks.
side. Right,
I thought he was gonna start playing chopsticks.
Ding, ding. And it's funny because y'all got these big two jumbotrons. I'm saying they got this huge. That church is so big, you got a parking deck. I'm mad at that. But this guy, I'm saying
most big churches have a parking deck, Marty.
I don't go to those then. But no, this dude is dressed in all white. All permed out. Had the little band on his hair, and you just knew this dude was. I
thought he was gonna blow,
man.
He
was about to freak this thing. I'm saying it was about to be a church service.
Yeah.
And it's like tink tink tink. Tink, 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 and then messed up.
I know.
On the funeral,
I know. I was like,
tink, tink.
Dude, I was sitting there going, okay, how do I do this? How do I? But when you're in the moment, you can't do nothing about it.
No, I was.
But then I saw him go up again. I was like, no, that is not what we planned. That is so not what we planned.
The boy was stuttering on the piano. It was like tink, 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 tink. Like he was trying to find, like, what's really wrong with the man? Did he practice?
I was told he practiced, but here's my thing. Marty, I'm so trying to bring this full circle.
Yes.
So anywho, the thing that I thought was beautiful was to see so many young people that were inspired by Elijah, that were inspired to be their best self. And he was your friend regardless of where you came from, regardless of who you are. I just thought that was amazing. There were people that said in high school, even though he was a jock and even though he was well known and even though he was a star basketball player, he was friends even with the kids that weren't necessarily the cool kids, and he was friends with the cool kids and everything in between. And I just feel like we need more people like that in the world.
Yeah.
That they don't care who you are. They just want to love on you and help bring out the best in you. And I'm telling you, that's the thing that really got me, was that such a beautiful soul, somebody that had given so much to so many other people, was snatched out of our lives so quick.
Yeah. I will say that in all seriously, I can tell that he touched so many people.
Yeah.
Just with him being who he was.
Yeah.
He could de-escalate a situation.
That's right.
I think one of his girlfriend, not one of his girlfriends.
I was getting, dude.
Yeah. Well, the girl that said that she was his girlfriend.
That was his girlfriend.
Okay,
Marty.
If she said, I'm cool with it. I put it like this: when it's all said and done and he's gone, you can tell the truth now. Because I'm saying when they did the little
Marty,
bulletin.
We gonna go do some cutting and editing now. That was his girlfriend.
Okay, that
he
really
planned on being with her for the rest of his life.
Okay, well he did. He was. He was with the.
Okay, Marty, go.
But no, when they had the picture they had a whole bunch of women with them, and during that time I didn't know, because I remember
when you were putting the video. Okay, got it. Okay, now I know where you're going. Yeah. I'm like, what? Okay, got it.
I didn't know. You know, because at the end they had this beautiful picture of him riding a bike with this lady on the back of it with their hands in the sun, and I'm like, that's a beautiful picture of him and his girlfriend.
And then I was like,
said,
no, that's
his girlfriend.
No.
But he really touched people. And it's one of those things. He had one of those work ethics.
Yes.
Because he was a bodybuilder and everything, and getting up at 6 a.m.
Yeah.
I think it was 4 or 5.
Not a bodybuilder, but like an athlete. He took care of himself because he was playing basketball.
If you get up every morning, at 4 o'clock and you work out, in the gym, you a bodybuilder.
No, well, he was building a great body, but I'm saying he wasn't like competing.
Yeah, he wasn't trying to be like Lou Ferrigno or anything like that. Like. The champion. He wasn't.
I used to have a crush on Lou Ferrigno.
Okay.
I don't know why. I used to love the Incredible Hulk. But anyway.
Just as long as he didn't talk to you, huh?
No, leave him alone. Leave him alone. He was deaf.
Who?
Lou Ferrigno.
He wasn't deaf.
Yes, he was.
He was deaf?
Yes. He was deaf.
In both ears?
No.
I'm just saying.
Is there any other? He was deaf.
How did he do interviews?
Dude, he can read lips. You did not know. You did not know Lou Ferrigno was deaf.
I did not know that. I'm sorry. it's not like I really followed his career. I didn't have a crush on him.
I did.
Yeah. He only did that one thing with Hulk.
No, he
right?
did other stuff, but I mean, it never became.
What else did he do?
You know, I don't remember, but he did the Incredible Hulk and any others. But he made his name bodybuilding.
Right.
And then when they were looking to cast the Incredible Hulk, somehow he got cast as the Incredible.
They didn't give him no lines though.
No. I am really trying to bring this full circle, guys.
Okay, well, look, Donnie, if you know, I realize sometimes people have things to say about the show,
right?
You know, and they have, you know, sometimes they have comments or you know.
Oh, they're gonna have some comments today, and I'm gonna hear about some stuff offline. I'm telling you.
But now, if they want to get in contact with you to talk about me, how do they do that? Because you're going to spill the coffee.
Exactly. You reach them at Marty at MAR. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, if you guys want to reach out to me, we finally got our stuff together. No more of this Gmail stuff.
Oh.
You can reach us at Doni, D-O-N-I, at DonnieJonesLive.com. Doni, D-O-N-I, at DonnieJonesLive.com.
I got to write that down just to make sure.
D-O-N-I at DoniJonesLive.com. Guys, we would love to hear from you. We love what we do, but we love even more knowing how you guys feel about what we do.
Right.
I'm Doni the Tree Lady.
I'm Marty McFly, the guy that's going to make you upset.
Yeah, truly.
No, send us, contact us. We want to know your thoughts and everything, all right?
Yeah.
We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Doni Jones Live. I am Doni the Tree Lady, owner of Don's Tree Service.
And certified arborist.
Yep, certified arborist too. And you are?
I'm just Marty.
You Marty McFly. You guys, we're back.
Yes, we're back. And you know, it's always interesting because, you know, there are certain protocols and things like of that nature at funerals and at services and stuff like that. And, you know, usually you have a list of, you know, speakers and stuff. Because, you know, people's about to get in line at this funeral, but they didn't know. And it's kind of like, how do you tell somebody, hey.
Well, okay, here's what happened.
You can't talk here.
You can't talk. Well, because of the protocol of my church, they've had done a lot of these, and they felt that that sometimes if you have an open mic,
wait,
go off the rails.
Now, you know,
Come on, man.
Now, I'm gonna put this disclaimer
I had
in
something
there,
else written down.
I'm going to put this disclaimer in there.
I had something else.
These are my views.
These are my
So if anything that I say about her church or her congregation.
I had a segment 2 with something
don't hold
totally.
it against her because this is my first time at her church.
Which is an awesome church.
Yes, it is. It's really
beautiful.
It really is. So, but they said that because y'all coming.
Not y'all. It was not a y'all.
Y'all coming. Y'all can only have 2 people talking. Y'all can't have no open mic. Ain't none of that.
Marty, there was more than 2 people. They were saying that, you know, to keep, you know how some funerals can just go on and on and on. They were trying to keep everything, you know, kind of organized and you know,
it was
organized. It was organized.
They had a sound. You had to be, if you was a speaker, you had to be there at a certain time for
you had to be a sound check and stuff like this. Yeah. So, you know what is awesome? That, you know, sometimes you plant a seed. Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
Go ahead and plant the seed.
We planted seeds, and sometimes
that
was a trick.
But I ain't gonna talk about him because he might listen to the show. Even though how you gonna say in the service? I ain't know the little boy. I might have shook his hand once or twice. So why you doing the eulogy? I'm saying just being honest. Out of all these people in here that knew the boy, you know, you gonna pick the one that didn't know him.
Oh my God!
And he gonna say, yeah, he didn't even know me.
She did. He did know him. God, Marty, oh my God, I'm gonna cry.
He did it okay sermon too.
Cry. I'm just gonna cry
right
say
now.
About
him.
Can we start the show over?
I'm sorry.
Can we just do a different segment?
Okay,
this is a great show.
Yeah.
So anyway, plant a seed. Plant a seed. Plant a seed.
Yes.
So we're going to segue because we talk a lot about entrepreneurship and business and building a business and stuff. And a lot of times when you're building a business and you're putting your name out there and you're trying to build your brand and everything, you're planting your seeds. You know, you're putting advertising out there, you're servicing your customers, and if you're growing a show like what we're doing, you're working with advertisers and you're just trying to build your foundation.
Right.
Well, I do the same thing with my speaking, and I've been blessed to be able to speak in lots of places, especially within Georgia. However,
yes, and it's growing.
But I wanted it to grow, and so I'm still planting seeds out there. Well, one of those seeds came to fruition. I spoke at a high school, And
that was a college. It was small, but that was a college.
If you'll let me finish my story.
Okay.
I spoke at a high school a couple of months ago.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And the lady liked what I had to say, and she thought I was kind of, inspirational or whatever. And she asked us to speak. She asked me to speak at Tennessee State University. Okay. And I was really excited about that because this was my first out-of-town speaking engagement, where we get on a little plane and, special. I felt special. Except for when I was on the plane with you and you was dogging me.
Okay, wait a minute.
What?
She gonna fly Southwest talking about, okay. I bought first class tickets.
I did. No, I thought I bought, it said on there, it said something about business, so I thought it was business class. Yeah. So.
If you ever flew Southwest, first person on the plane, you pick your seat.
I didn't realize that's what it was. So, but I clicked on the little thing. Yeah, I was.
Why ain't y'all dividing?
I was wondering why you were sitting there. I was like, why are you so far back and we're in business class?
It ain't no business class. It's an open airplane. What do you think is business? Huh? See, you privileged. You thought because I was just sitting in the back of the plane.
And then I was looking for the little number where you sit down. I was just getting frustrated, but I saw you.
You had your little phone. I'm like, where the charging port
I did. Where's the charger?
This is Southwest. This ain't no Delta. This ain't one of those. Look, just make sure you got a good seatbelt.
Right.
And we good.
They had seatbelts. They did have seatbelts, but their coffee was blech, but they were nice. They were nice people.
They just smiled at you because you asked for stuff, and they just smiled. You have gluten-free crackers?
No, okay. If you're on Delta and you do not want gluten, they give you.
That's what it is.
Marty.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people. Okay. I'm not the only person that doesn't eat gluten.
If you come to my church, you ask for coffee. You get coffee in a plastic cup.
Right.
You go to your church, you ask for coffee.
That's different.
They give you a glass mug. I'm saying this thing. Honestly, I thought that they just had the wrong glasses out there.
No, the glass ones was for the mug. The glass.
Feel all great. Y'all, that's a bougie.
That is weird.
It's big. It's just, after I got out the parking deck and I got on the elevator and I went down and the elevator opened up to a receptionist to tell me, okay, you're going to have to go through that door to that other building over there. And then I went up and you're going to have to go through the restaurant.
Marty.
And that's why I was like, a restaurant?
It wasn't the restaurant. It's a cafe. It was a cafe.
You say potato, I say potato. They had tables, they had chairs.
Let me tell you something. Even though it's a big church, I admit I do go to a big church, and it's an amazing church. And I got to tell you, I joke a lot, and I talk about the political differences and the tug of war that I feel is going on between the congregation and the leadership of the church.
I see that too.
Okay, yeah. But can I tell you guys something? The way they came together for us, it was family. And it made me realize our church is just like any other family. You're going to have your disagreements. You're going to have things that you don't see eye to eye on. But when it's time to come together, we come together and we love each other. And that's what just really touched my heart last week, was seeing how we came together. So shout out to my church. I try not to put the name out there because they might call me and be like, kick me out because I'm a little edgy on my content. But here's the thing.
I will say they did do a well job. I'm saying with the service and everything. I like that, So I'm giving your church 2 thumbs up, even though they had this big light show going on in the back. I was serious. I was like, this is a live concert. The blue neon lights going on. And I ain't making this up now. I'm not lying. They had these big blue neon lights like it's a big disco going on. And like the choir box is in dark. Like they come out of the shadows and start singing. Like, what is... Okay.
So as I was saying about the church, and then we're going to get back to Southwest.
Yes.
Even though the church is a big church, it feels small if you get involved in it, in the different groups. Like you have the children's ministry.
I saw their building. The youth building.
It's beautiful. Yeah, it's a beautiful building.
Okay. That's how big was the youth building. That's beside the parking deck. That was that whole
it's across from the parking lot. There's the children's ministry. But you get involved in the children's ministry, and the thing is, they've found a way to be able to build a community within a community. So it doesn't feel like it's huge once you get involved. So I want to give a shout out to you guys for being so amazing. Now going back to Southwest,
yes,
I do admit that I was a little surprised at the service. Mm-hmm. They were nice people. But, when I asked for another cup of coffee, I got this look like...
It's an hour flight. We're landing right.
We left at 6
Now.
o'clock in the morning, and they gave us these teeny weeny little cups. So
okay, if you ever flown, most people don't do this, but flying from Atlanta to Nashville,
it's an hour flight.
Is an hour,
45 minutes or something.
So by the time that they take off, they landing. So
yeah.
And on the way back, I think he was asleep, but the lady took my coffee because you don't supposed to have. Yeah, you don't supposed to have coffee when you're landing. A beverage or anything like that?
Well, yeah, I know that.
Yeah, so that's when you asked
I
for a
didn't
refill.
know. I asked. The lady the gentleman walked past me, and I knew we weren't landing at that minute. So I was like, well, "Can I get another coffee?" And he's like,
"No, we're landing.
We're getting ready."
Right.
So,
He's like, "I'm picking up the trash."
But shout out to I want to put this out there. Shout out to Southwest. We're going to talk about my seeds and.
Yeah, we're going to talk about your speaking engagement because you did a really good job.
Thank you.
And I honestly say, out of all the stuff you messed up on, you did do a good job. I
messed up at the airport. I messed up on the airplane.
She messed up through this whole presentation, but she did a really good job. It's kind of like and I've been there. I did it last Sunday. I forgot my whole sermon at the house, so I had to wing it. You can do it. And I'm proud of you. You won it.
Well, I will say this to you. I don't feel like I could have pulled that off without you there. I definitely could.
You was out there by yourself because I was not trying to help you at all. She gonna try to blame it on me. Marty, did you mess up my PowerPoint? That was not.
That was
job.
a joke. I know for a fact. I did my own PowerPoint,
and she did that 3 times. Marty messed it up. He must have touched it.
I did not do. Well, I think I did do it 3 times.
I got it on video. I taped you. And I think you hear me on the camera saying, that's some
bullshit. Oh, wait a minute. I didn't say the word, did I?
No, you didn't. You
okay.
You safe. You didn't go all the way around.
I don't know. We don't want, is it the FCC or whoever? When you
curse them? Run. I ain't paying nothing. This is Donnie Jones' show. It ain't Marty, so you can do whatever
what does it say? Donnie Jones Live with Marty McFly.
Yeah. Whose credit card is down?
Okay, you're right. You're absolutely right.
Hey, we're gonna get to your seed, planting your seed.
We're gonna plant a seed.
But we're gonna take a break in a few minutes. But if you wanna write and got a suggestion, or actually if you want Donnie to come to your high school or your classroom to speak.
Or college.
Oh yeah, or college.
I'm college educated.
And she actually spoke at my church not too long
ago. I
right.
sure did. So
and
that was pretty awesome.
Not on Sunday.
No, that's your pulpit. But you guys, you reach out to us at Donnie Jones Live, Donnie at Donnie Jones Live, DONI at DonnieJonesLive.com. You still got coffee in your mouth?
Yeah, I had coffee. You know what? We need a phone number too.
We do need to get a phone. Let's put that on our to-do list.
Okay.
Because y'all can't be calling me on my cell phone because sometimes I'm, picking up the kids and stuff like that. Give me that.
She don't answer.
I'm going to put it on my to-do list. And then I'm looking at our engineer going, okay, can we break now? Because, we'll
work on that later. We'll give you our phone number. Hopefully next, I ain't even going to say when because I get myself in trouble. But hey, if you do have a comment about the show or got a suggestion, if you'd like to be on, send us an email at Donnie at DonnieJonesLive.com.
Yes, and you can hit us up on social media. We are on social media too, Donnie Jones Live.
Okay, yeah.
Instagram and
look, we'll be right
Facebook.
back.
Yeah. Welcome back to Donnie Jones Live. I am your certified arborist, Donnie the Tree Lady with.
I am that guy, Marty McFly.
You is fly.
I try my best.
Okay, now I'm going to try to do this over again.
Okay, all right.
So you're out there trying to make a difference and build your business.
Yes.
And you're planting a seed. So I finished planting some seeds, or I'm never finished planting some seeds. And one of those came to fruition with us getting the opportunity to go to Nashville and speak at Tennessee State University.
Yes.
Now, when we got off the plane that you say I was being bougie on, I'm going down the hallway and I see this big poster or banner ad with Oprah Winfrey on it, billboard with Oprah Winfrey on it. And it's a quote about education. I thought it was very inspirational. Well, when I looked at the bottom of the quote, it said Tennessee State alum. I nearly fell out because Oprah Winfrey has always been somebody that I looked up to. She was the reason why I wanted to get into journalism. And even though my life took me in a different direction, she's somebody that I listen to all the time for inspiration and for motivation and to learn from. And so when it comes to speaking, it's like, to me, she's like top dog.
She's top.
She's a beast.
Yeah.
And so for me to be going and doing my first out of town speaking engagement at her alma mater, it just hit me like a ton of bricks.
It did. You know what I'm saying? It was all over you. I'm saying the glow and everything was all over.
I was feeling good.
Understand this. She went and did Facebook Live in front of it and was just talking like, I'm here in front of this poster with Oprah and just my dream. And she starts walking through and then she says, oh, Marty, I didn't push go.
I didn't push. You know how you got to push the live button?
Yeah. Just so excited that you just missed your whole.
I totally missed it. Exactly.
That's a good thing. I'm saying, but here's the thing. I'll say the takeaway from that is if you do small things for other people, because you didn't know that small speaking engagement at that high school will lead you to a college, you know, and it's going to keep growing, going to the next level. So,
well, I think, but even as a believer in the Bible, it talks about despise not small beginnings.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay, now, I'm looking at you because you're a pastor.
Hey.
But doesn't it say something about, despise not small beginnings? Because it's like you can start with like a little acorn, you know.
Mustard seed.
A mustard seed, yes. See, I'm getting there somewhere. There's somewhere in there. But, I started with just a little bit of faith when I started speaking and us growing this show and even growing my tree service. And even though we started off small, look at what it's growing into. And so I would encourage anybody out there, if you've got a dream and you're passionate about something, start right where you are. Yeah. You don't have to have all the answers right now. You can start with, like, say your dream is to own your own plumbing company. Start with just going to get business cards. Right. Start with thinking of a name. Right. Start with just getting the telephone number.
Just start cleaning toilets.
Well, I think that's a cleaning business. That's not plumbing. Start fixing toilets. Just whatever it is. If you want to write a book, but you don't have the whole book laid out, start with one chapter.
Right, and learn how to read. Yeah.
You want to be a pastor. Like Marty is, right here. Just start encouraging people and ministering to people right where you are on your job.
You got too many people doing that now.
What?
No, I'm just saying, people doing that all the time now, and you got so many people that's ministering to people that's just talking out the side of their neck. I'm sorry, you just took me on a side note when you said, well, if you want to be a pastor,
well, I mean, I know it takes. Okay, Marty, I know it takes more than that to be a pastor. Just like I'm a certified arborist,
right?
And you don't just wake up one day and a certified arborist. You got to learn. So
but didn't you do that?
Well, no. No,
I'm saying before you.
Yeah, I did. Well, I started with like nothing.
Right.
But I did learn, and I had to read books, and I took classes so that I could get my certification. But it's the same with you. You didn't just wake up
with
one
everything,
day.
I'm saying, and now I'm joking, with everything, you got to educate yourself with it. Go for it, do it. But, at the same time, educate yourself with what you're doing. Right. I don't care if it's music production. If you're doing, back in the day, I think it was Fruity Loops. That was just a free program online that people would make beats or music with, and they grew from there. But start where you can start.
Did you say Fruity Loops?
Yeah.
Okay, my mind went so totally someplace else.
Oh, I don't know. That's a major standard production platform called Fruity Loops. That when it first came out, people was like, "Oh, that's the jokey thing." Not real producers produce with that.
Right.
Now you have people making number one hits off of this, but they started with what they had. Right. So in a sense, what I was saying is start with what you have. But educate yourself. Right. Learn, be knowledgeable about your industry. And take notes of other people. Like me, I'm a minister, but I have to constantly study. I have to constantly look at other ministers and say, what are they doing in their sermon? How are they communicating with their congregation? Right. And it even goes into your delivery of pregnant pauses of like when you're talking. Right. When do you let the spirit kind of come in? When do you drop your voice? Yeah. When do you
look at
all those different things you practice. It's a study. It's and then of course you always want to read and read and read. But like for me, like you asked me, isn't that in the Bible? I'm not sure.
That's because you are a scholar. You're joking right now, but you are. You know what you're talking about when it comes to the Bible. I've read.
No. And because I will fact check myself a few times and say, wait a minute, I think I know what I'm saying on that one. But if I haven't really studied, because I think we did a show a while back, that I listened to, and it was I said something that wasn't I said that something wasn't in the Bible, right? But it really was.
It really was. Okay.
And it was one of those like, oh,
But you know what's so
misspoke.
funny? People do that in everyday life.
Oh, yeah.
Not to make a segue or anything, because by the way, my main point in planting the seeds is to start now. Start
now.
doing something right now towards you achieving your goals. But to do a little bit of a segue, there are people that just throw things out there and say stuff is in the Bible when it's really not. Like for the longest time, my grandmother used to say cleanliness is next to godliness. And I thought it was in the Bible because of the way she
Wash
said
your
it.
face or God gonna kill you.
Yeah, well, she didn't really say it like that, but she would say cleanliness. So for the longest time, I thought that was in the Bible. You know, and I think it was you that said, "Well, no, that's not in the Bible. That's not." But I would think that there's something that might allude to that. So maybe that's why people say
it might
that.
sound good, but you know, there's a lot of things in the. One of the biggest things, like the rapture. You know, that's not in the Bible. The word the rapture is not there, but people talk about it the whole time.
Are you serious?
Yeah, now that one I know that's not in the actual word the rapture.
So how do they misinterpret that then? What do they
make up? They make up nice words and then they kind of stay on that. I'm saying it's the concept of the rapture of
okay. Well, so are you saying that their concept that all these people, everybody's going to be destroyed and then sucked up to wherever, that's not in the Bible?
That is in Revelations, but it's a different interpretations. You know, and I'll be honest with you, different interpretations. Some people feel like the writers of that book that during that time of the certain parts of that revelation had happened. Okay. You know, that's one.
Meaning it had already happened.
Right. It had happened because the Christians were being so prosecuted and being tortured and killed and all that stuff during that time because you had different religions coming in. Right. So in one aspect, the writers of that were saying certain people believe that portion already happened. Okay. Now others may or may not believe in the sense heaven or hell. You know, in the aspect of religion, because they say, okay, hell is when you're separated from God, right? You know, and then at the same time, if you're absent from the body, you're one with the Creator, right? So the understanding of hell concept might not really be there to certain denominations, right? I don't know if that makes sense, but it's like certain people, it's like, okay, you're saved by God, you're justified by God's grace through faith. All right. So in a sense, you don't have to work for your salvation. So you're already saved because Jesus came, you know, for your salvation. So in a sense, you're not technically supposed to be going to hell, if that makes sense. Oh, God. You know? I was wondering where I was like, okay, I'm trying to figure out where he's going with that. So I'm saying, so different denominations.
But you know, there's like a movement now where people are really rethinking this concept of hell and how the concept was created. Yeah. It's so. How do you feel about that as a minister?
Well, I believe that the farther you're away from God in your life, the more at hell you are.
And see, that's how I feel. I feel like when you're separated, which by the way, and this is me as a lay person, right? I don't feel like you're ever separated, but I think you can feel separate because I think God is always there. Yeah, God is always in you, in there, on you, around you, whatever. But because of your own ideologies or your own behavior or what you perceive as the unforgivable sin, you feel like you're separated.
Right. Some people are going through hell. Just to bring it home, like you might have a family member that is like, you know, I don't want to talk to you. You know, even though you can help them and you can bless them, they're like, I don't want to talk to you, and they're going through hell.
That's right.
You know, and it's not like it's not something that you've done. Right. It's what their decision is. Right. And that's how it is with God.
You know, you just made a very good point because I do have a family member right now that's pushing me away, and I want to help them, but because I didn't want to help them the way they wanted me to help them, they wanted me to give them something that I didn't. And he's got some emotional and mental issues, and I did not think it was appropriate to give him something, you know, that he could misuse. So I said, well, I'll help you in this manner so that you can, you know, get a place over your head. You can get some things taken care of, but I'll do it this way. Right. Because I didn't do it the way they wanted it to be done, now they have nothing to say.
Right. And now they might be in hell because they're separated from Doni. But, you know, it's just different interpretations. And sometimes I'm cautious of this because these can really be theological conversations and get deeper and deeper. And some people are so connected to their religion that if you say anything to make them think differently or go against what they believe, they ready to almost kill you, shoot you, fight you, or whatever. Right. Because it's like this. In the Bible, Jesus never talked about heaven as a destination spot. You know, he never said, you know, when you die, you're going to. He just said, you know, when you find this place, you want to sell everything. You know, when you discover this,
Yeah.
you know, it's more precious than anything else.
It's more precious than silver and gold.
It wasn't a destination.
Yeah.
We put the destination. Oh, when we gonna meet grandmama.
Yeah.
We put that on there, you know, and you don't, because you don't want to tell somebody, nah, you might not see them no more, you know, or
right, because that's what their belief system is. I'm going to.
Right.
So if you take that away, in their mind, where's their hope?
Right.
Yeah.
And see, understand this. We only got a few more seconds, but
oh my gosh,
everything starts with hope.
Oh yeah,
you know?
It does.
And I said that, but we gotta take a quick break.
Okay, we'll take a quick break.
Yeah. And then
we'll
we
talk
about on the
in
other
here.
side. Right. You're listening to Doni Jones, the certified arborist.
And Marty McFly, the certified awesome guy. Welcome back to Doni Jones Live. I am Doni the Tree Lady
and
with.
I am that guy that's going to make somebody upset today.
I think we are. And if you guys are upset, you want to reach out to Marty at 404.
I'm okay with it. You know, I'm okay with it because, you know, it's just a part of who I am.
That's, you know what?
I gotta be me.
And you should be you. And actually, it's funny because I was thinking about that. I thought, you know, you got to get to a point in your life where you're comfortable with who you are.
Yes.
Because there's going to be times in your life that people don't like who God made you.
Right.
Like, I know for a fact I can be a little extra.
Yes, you
A
can
little
be.
extra. And I'm wired that way. But I'm wired that way for a reason. That doesn't mean I should be going off the rails and doing crazy stuff that doesn't make sense. No. But if I'm passionate about something, God has put it in my heart to be passionate about something, I might go full forward on something that other people might think, oh, well, you should pull back, and that's a little too much, and that's a little too extra. Well, guess what? Their journey is not my journey.
Yeah.
Their vision is not my vision. And sometimes you know, what is it saying? But don't cast your pearls before swine.
Yeah,
sometimes people are casting that.
Yeah, I know what you're talking
That's
about.
true.
Look,
But sometimes
66 books of that Bible.
That
I don't
is
know
true.
all of them.
But everything I've said to you today, you're like, okay, something like that. People gonna take your credentials. But anyway, sometimes God can put it in your heart to be a certain way or to do a certain thing, and somebody else is standing back on the sidelines going, well, why are you doing this? Well, that's because they don't have the vision that you have. Then they can't see what God has placed in you. So if you are in a season right now where you're starting to feel alone or you feel like you're too much or people don't understand you, just know that God's got your back.
Oh, yeah.
And make sure you understand yourself and why you're doing something.
And understand, you know, you in the game. You always gonna have a water boy.
That's right.
You on the sideline. It's talking stuff or just saying, you know, what you should have did, what you shouldn't have done, what you did. And it's like, well, you want to come out here and get in the game?
Come on now.
No, they can't do that.
They can't do it.
You know, because they're not built like you. They're not made like you. And they haven't went through the things that you
That's right. And they ain't been what you've been through. And speaking of what you've been through, one of the things I love about our show is that it's always evolving. But something that we kind of started with that I feel like sometimes we don't really get deep into is that Marty's Minute. And I know that for me, I always looked forward to that. And I'm looking forward to today.
You having
yeah, absolutely. Marty's Minute. Because you're the one that said we got to have structure.
Yes, we do. But you don't supposed to put
structure
on glass like that.
The structure is fourth segment is Marty's Minute.
All right. But you know what?
Part of fourth segment.
We'll do it like this then. You remember that old game, Marco Polo?
Yes.
You ever play that?
I did, yes.
I never played that game. We didn't have a pool or anything like that, and where we swam.
Well, we didn't either, but I have kids, and we've had pools since
you did
they've
it as
been
an
born.
adult.
Yeah,
okay.
I watched my kids do it.
But see, the thing about Marco Polo, if you never played the game, there is one person on one side of the pool that is blindfold,
right,
and is always yelling out Marco, and the other person Polo as a response, you know.
Yeah,
and it's like rules of the game.
Yeah,
one of the biggest rules is every time the person that's blindfolded in the water yells out Marco, the other one has to answer. Yeah. Has to respond. Yeah. No matter where they're at in there until you can get close to them, because the goal is to get close to them. Yes. Same thing that God does with us. Every time you yell out, Jesus, he has to respond. Yeah. Until you can get to that closeness. And, you know, if you're Marco, once you touch him, then you can open up your eyes and you can see.
Oh, that's so good.
So, you know, in the same sense, you know, so when you in your water and you're bouncing up and down and you can't find your way, just yell out, Jesus. And the rules of the game is he has to answer. See? So that's my little Marty moment for that. It might help somebody out. If not, then
it just helped me out.
See?
It just helped me out. And I'll tell you why. Because, you know, I feel like the confidence for me is not necessarily a challenge right now.
I can, yeah.
And so, but there are times in my life where maybe I've made a decision or I've done something and I feel good about it. And then on the backside, I get questioned about it.
Yeah.
And I know that it was God that put something in my heart to do something or that I heard from God about something. And I feel like sometimes, going back to what I was talking about in the last segment, that that when God speaks to you and he calls to you and you hear his voice and you walk towards him, that maybe other people can't hear that same voice because they've got their own blindfolds on.
No. You understand
Or they got their own ear.
I understand this.
What it goes over your ears?
Yeah, earmuffs.
Earmuffs, whatever it is.
Yeah. But no. Understand this. If he's calling you, it ain't for them.
It ain't for them. Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
It was Simon. One of them was in the temple. And
come on,
it was
Marty.
like he kept getting up like, Master, did you call me? And,
wait, who was the one with the long hair?
No. That was
Samson. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Right, but this one, no, Simon in the temple.
We sound so ratchet right now.
Oh, I know, but see, the thing is, they know what I'm talking about.
They know what you're talking about.
Because God called the guy,
right.
He heard the voice of God.
Right.
And he got up, but nobody else heard it. And he went to his master and was saying, Master, did you call me? He was like, no, go back to sleep. And then heard the voice again.
I've read this
and he came and he's like, no. He said, well, next time, say, God, this is your servant. What do you want from me? In a sense. So in a sense, what you're saying is you're hearing these messages. You're hearing these things. And you're like, well, why ain't everybody else coming with me and doing it? Because that's not for you.
That's right.
I mean, not for them. It's for you.
That's right.
They're not made, they're not cut to do some of the things that you do. And understand, God made you unique. So don't try to die a copy.
God made you unique.
Right. So stop trying to make copies of yourself too.
That's true.
Because everybody is not going to be Donnie Jones climbing trees.
But I don't climb trees, but my guys do. But here's the thing, though. I think people do that with their kids too. They try to make their kids into copies of them.
Yeah.
And
that's why if you got big mamas, you got big kids usually. Because they try to make them the same way. I'm saying.
Well, I don't think mine are going to be big. My youngest is like,
well,
and
one of your kids is shaped like
is,
you, and one of your kids is shaped like your husband.
My kids are not going to be overweight.
No. I'm not like that. I'm just saying if you can tell that they're your kids.
Yes, they are definitely our kids. But what I'm saying is that a lot of times people try to shape their being. Like my oldest is very introspective. She's a thinker.
Yeah.
She's not just going to throw spaghetti on a wall and see what sticks. She's going to try to figure out what's going to stick.
Yeah.
Whereas my personality is I'm throwing spaghetti on a wall and seeing what sticks. But I learned from watching how she does things. Now I'm still going to be my personality, but I give her the room and flexibility to be whoever God is calling her to be.
Yeah.
But it's almost the same thing like with you and I. We have different personalities, but I think what makes us really good together is I'm not trying to be you and you're not trying to be me.
I am not trying to cut trees.
No.
That is not me.
I'm not trying to be a skinny pastor.
Right.
Well, I'm trying to get skinny, though.
See, certain parts of me you trying to be like, no. Smaller, youthfulness.
Okay.
Ministering.
Did you say youthfulness?
Well, yeah.
I'm young at heart already.
Yeah, okay. We ain't got a whole lot of time, so we're just going to keep on moving.
We'll just figure that one out on the other.
But anyway, so here's the thing. If you want, since we only got a little bit of time left, if you want Donnie to come to your family reunion, to your church, to your school program, if you got some kind of program that y'all talk about, Green Life or Green Leaves or something like that, or greenery, call her, contact her. You can call her or contact her at Donnie at DonnieJonesLive.com. She ain't even, she just, that's Donnie, DONI, at DonnieJonesLive.com. Just let her know you like the show and, keep
Also,
Marty
you
on.
guys, Marty doesn't talk about this, but he also does production work. We actually have a company called Vast Productions. So if you guys need some production work done, because I'm just going to put him on the spot also.
Right. Or if you want to see some other videos, you can always, log on to just Donnie Jones and just Google Donnie Jones. Yeah. You're going to see some stuff of her.
That's right.
Something's going to come up of Donnie. I'm serious. She got a long history out there. Something gonna come up.
But it's gonna be something positive. Well, most of it's gonna be positive. We
most
do have
of
that.
But she got some stuff that ain't all that positive.
That is true. But some of that stuff ain't my stuff, remember?
You know what? That is true. And do you ever? Because that's a real touchy situation.
It's a touchy situation. But you know what? Maybe we should talk about it. Not in depth. But you're right. Sometimes when you start doing something and building something, people try to piggyback on it.
Yeah.
And then they don't.
And yours hit home. And you know what? Nah, since we got a few minutes, we can do this so we won't stay on it long. But you have a real sensitive situation because you have a family member.
I have a family member.
And worked for you.
Yes.
Then left your company.
Yes.
And started her own company with your name.
Almost my name.
Almost your name. It just changed
almost
the last.
Just same the last
color,
part.
same everything.
Yeah.
But then they do really, 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 really bad work.
They do bad work. And the thing is, I have had, people have said, Donnie, why don't you sue this person? Why don't you go after them and stuff? But you know what I'd rather do? I'd rather continue to build a successful business, continue to build a good name, and then let that supersede me, trying to spend $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 to defend my name. But here's the thing, though. People can try to be you, but they can't duplicate you.
They can't.
Often imitated, but never duplicated.
Yeah.
And that's what I stick to, And so I try not to let it bother me. And this was a person that I bent over backwards for. Helped put through college, helped buy their first home, gave them vehicles, all that kind of stuff. Stuff that
family, you just can't. Family does that for some reason.
Right.
I'm saying
not all family though, because I've got some great family members.
But it runs in, I guess, our community. I'm saying my oldest brother did me kind of like that.
Oh,
it was just one of those things. I'm saying he came to Atlanta and I was in college and I had my own little thing going on. I was, yellow butter and he wanted to be yellow mustard. And it's like you can't come to the same place and dance with the same name. We look alike.
Marty, I'm gonna start thinking you really did dance. You always joke like that.
Change the end. How you gonna? They didn't even know who the DJ couldn't even put out the name right. Like coming to the stage is Yellow was one of them. It's like not even cool. But anyway, hey,
Marty, I'm done with you.
To get me in trouble.
This is. I'm gonna have more subjects laid out, so you ain't got to get into your dancing career towards the end of the show.
And if you want to see one of my sermons, you can always just Google Marty Ringer. Actually,
that's right, Marty Ringer. Mardy.
What?
Mardy.
Yeah, Mardy Ringer. RING.
What did you think I said?
I thought you put a U in there. I'm sorry.
Mardy Ringer. Google him, guys. He's a great pastor. And if you also have an event coming up in your church and you want him to speak, reach out to him too. So anyway, but guys, thank you for checking out our show this week.
Yep, I am Marty McFly.
And I'm Donnie the Tree Lady.
We'll see you next week.
Yeah.